Well, good morning, folks. It's a beautiful, blustery day out today, and right now I'm just going to go out to the garden and go check on the garden babies and see what's happening with them. I know I have a few that are starting to pop, and I'm totally excited. I've got the itch, just like everybody else this time of the year, so I really just wanted to give a quick update and show you what's happening. So here is today's project. Picking up the pots, getting my trellises set here, those guys. I tripped over those yesterday and it was a fun spill, so a couple of cool bruises and, you know, the braggable size ones. And then we're gonna get some dirt and put it in there, and then probably go and get soil from the compost pile and get my squash beds ready to go. Those guys, him and him. So anyways, I'll show you what's gonna happen later, I guess. Okay, and also I messed up there for a second. I wanted to show you actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my oregano in this pot, and I think I'm going to move it and put one here and then one here down on the end. Why don't you let me know your thoughts and what you think. The only problem, conflict is I have a volunteer chamomile, and as many of you know that grow it, they get humongous and they'll actually spread out from here to here, so I'm a little apprehensive, quite frankly, to keep it in this bed or maybe move it to one of those pots. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with that, and trying to figure out, do I put it there? Because actually I put calendula in those pots for the summertime, and they grow beautifully and really tall. So I'm just going to get all this fun stuff cleaned up and get my hose reattached. We just blew out the little spigots, and then that way we'll be able to water the garden. Okay, we're just going to go and get the hoses hooked up, and then I'm probably going to get the garlic bed watered up along with the onions. The one thing that I thought about too is gotta turn on water at the spigot, because it makes a big difference. And also, I need to find my sprayer. Let's see. Isn't this fun? A fun hodgepodge collection of stuff. Oh, that door. Probably need some WD-40, huh? Alright. Well. Ugh. Alright. I'll get this hooked up and get the water in. Always check before you put on your your sprayers or anything, always check to see if you have a gasket, because that makes a big difference too. And as you can see, I don't think this one does not have one, so I'm going to go grab one really quick. Really quick tip, just for information purposes and spring garden, hose startup. One thing I would encourage everyone to do is to keep a stockpile of these guys. You always want a stockpile of gaskets. You never know if you're going to change out a sprayer or not. And when you do, sometimes those things can pop out and you not know it. So anyways, this is just what I do. I keep a stockpile. I hang it up right behind my little handy dandy little broom. And it stays safe and doesn't get knocked off. So just a quick tip. I hope that helps, because I've learned that lesson a gazillion times. And ta-da! We have a gasket. Maybe you can see it. Maybe you can't. There you go. Okay. That's a little better. Alright. Now we can get everything watered. I remember the last time I did this, I went to go spray and I had water pouring down inside my sleeves and my coat. That was crazy. So now we can go turn on the water on the spigot, and then, pardon me, my nose was dripping. Watch it. There we go. It's all the way down there, but we have this really cool little stream that runs for winter runoff, and it has a tendency to be really swampy down there, so we usually cross over here and then trail down where it's a little drier and not so mucky. And then you have dry feet. So one thing that I really love is this split here. Last year we had a plastic one, and well, it was plastic and it made it through the winter, but it didn't make it through the first run of the water. And so when I turned on the water for the first time last year, it blew up and I got water up my nose, all over the place. It sprayed everywhere because it broke. So I went and got at our local hardware store, and it did great this winter. I'm so impressed and I love it. And these little guys are flexible. So, and then there's going to be another change. This pipe here is actually, we're going to bury it and take it to the fence, or bury it to the fence, and then it'll run all along the fence line here so that we can just keep it out of the way from the lawnmower. So, alright. Let there be water. Gosh, I hope the wind isn't getting into this too bad into the mic. But, and I know we have a lot of volunteer chamomile out here. And then the other thing that we have is yarrow, which is really pretty. But let me see if I can find. There's chamomile right there. There you go. And see, just in the lawn even. And we usually get quite a few up the runoff stream here. And this will dry up during the summertime, but eventually we're going to have a little bridge right here so that the step across isn't so undaunting. Oh, and there's another chamomile. So, yep, it just comes up all over. So, I really like it. Makes a great tea. Flavorful one at that. Mix that in with some dandelions and some other herbs that are in the herb garden, like oregano. I also like the lemon balm. They're starting to come up finally. That makes a really great tea too. Alright, so let's just get this chore done really quick. I guess it makes it easier if you turn on the spigot in the garden, right? Alright, so another spring problem that we have again. I have to rinse out this guy, because that's not supposed to look like that. Whoops. And you probably just got showered with mist on the camera. So we'll use a different sprayer type. And now we'll just move over to the onion patch and give them a really quick drink of water. So I had to, yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to use a different one. Let's see what that is. There we go. Give them a nice drink of water. Oh goodness. Let's give it a good quick soak, and that way at least the soil is moist on the top. I know that when I did a moisture test, just put my finger down there, that the soil was moist just about 3/4 of an inch down. So as long as we can keep this nice and moist, the onions should grow pretty well. And the jury is still out on the cattle panels. So I'm still trying to decide whether or not I'm going to put them over there or keep them over here. The problem was I ended up getting squash bugs in those beds. So last year when I took those up, I took a torch to them and hopefully burned out all the eggs and all the whatevers were thriving in there, and hopefully eradicated them. And so that way, hopefully they don't come back this year, but I thought about rotating them over to this other side so that we can maybe avoid having them again. I don't know. And then this year, in this bed, I had a hornworm on my tomatoes. That's the very first one I've had in 15 years. I've never had hornworm. And that was the very first one. So that'll be interesting to see. Hopefully they don't come back either. Darn it, but well, another issue. So it's on all the way. I think I just need to, the hose is screwed on all the way. I just think I need to replace the gasket on that as well. So anyways, I think what I'm gonna do is get things cleaned up and picked up around here so I don't trip, and then call it a day, because we have to go over to another house of ours and go do some lawn work. So, and then I'll take you on a tour there too, because it's beautiful and full of lavender. And that's really exciting. So, all right, let's get this picked up. So that's about it for right now, but when we go over to the other house, I'll take you on a tour of the lavender. It's a big hillside with a bunch of lavender. It's just beautiful. I just don't know that it's in bloom now. I don't think so, but it will be, and it's just gorgeous. So, all right, we'll see you then. All right, I'm back this afternoon. We didn't end up going over there to go and trim the lavender, so I decided to come back and work in the garden. So now I'm working on just transplanting the oregano. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Let's just okay, they're into their permanent homes. And give them a few days, watch them, make sure they don't go into shock too much, and nurse them back to their normal selves. And then here's a quick update on the transplant of the oregano. So far they actually lasted overnight really good. It actually got down to 28 and it was only supposed to get down to 35. So, but I'm really loving the vine, how they're vining out a little bit. So I can't wait because I really want it to cascade over the corners. That'll just look really pretty. And then my other little lily didn't survive, so we'll have to maybe move that guy in the middle over here. And then I don't know, we have a whole lot of herbs going in this bed, so that'll be a fun kind of experiment with it. So I have cilantro, I have basil, I have dill, and what else? I have all sorts of stuff. Lavender. So that'll be fun to put in here.